Let's go now to these Kiwibuild homes that are being built in New Plymouth. 68 new Kiwibuild homes to be built there in a neglected neighbourhood in New Plymouth, more than a decade after a new housing project was first promised. In 2008, 28 Housing New Zealand properties were demolished in Marfell, and in 2012, 20 families were forced to move out. That was so they could make way for a development that never materialised. And some locals remain sceptical about the Kiwibuild initiative. Our Taranaki Wanganui reporter Robin Martin has more.
Several more Housing New Zealand properties were demolished in Marfell last year after being ransacked by mobs who stripped them of anything of value. The remaining battle-scarred duplexes that pockmark the vast empty expanse of Bank Street and Discovery Place are mostly private rentals. The Minister for Housing and Urban Development, Phil Twyford, who made the announcement today, says Marfell had become a symbol of inaction. He says the $23 million Kiwibuild project will revive the whole neighbourhood.
For young families, first home buyers who will get their start in life in this community, an investment that we believe will revitalise and rejuvenate this community. It'll bring people right back into the heart of this neighbourhood and provide a lifetime of opportunities for young families right here.
Mr Twyford says the 3 and 4 bedroom homes will be warm and dry and built using the latest technology. But he acknowledges that with a maximum price tag of $450,000, the homes will be out of the reach of many Marfell residents. Mr Twyford says Kiwibuild homes are targeted at people who can service a mortgage.
There will be some people whose incomes are too low to be able to do that. So I would expect that people who have a household income of, let's say, 70,000, 70, 80, 90,000 would be able to take on the kind of mortgage that we're talking about for these homes here. But I know there are lots of people who earn less than that.
Mr Twyford says an influx of middle-income families will add a new dimension to an already vibrant community. But not everyone shared his vision. Tino Rangatiratanga flag draped over his shoulders and a baby in his arms, Ngāwika Preston approached the New Plymouth Mayor Neil Holdham about the gathering.
I didn't see any local representation, so I come over and Uncle Neil was like, "Hey bro, who are you?" And I was like, "Ngāwiki, who are you?" "Neil." "Oh, Mr Holdham, check. Have you been up here, sir?" He's like, "Yeah, I used to grow up down the BMX track." It's like, "Nah, here, where you're standing." It's like, "Nah, it's the first time I've been here." It's like, wow, I see no local representation here. Just a whole lot of black suits thinking they have authoritative power over Papatuanuku.
Mr Preston says the Kiwibuild homes would price locals out of their own neighbourhood.
As a construction contractor myself, that's ridiculous. Even the common 40-hour-a-week man on minimum wage could not afford that.
Do you think people from the Marfell
will not be able to afford those in their wildest dreams?
The 37-year-old says the going rate for a home in Marfell is in the mid-$200,000 mark. Minister Twyford spoke to labourer Luke Akoi, who was taking baby Taylor Joe for a walk with his partner Crete. He too thought the homes were pricey.
For a low decile area, I think that's pretty steep, you know, for the people that will be living here. That's pretty steep, but, you know, I suppose they're doing something, I guess, yeah. Yeah.
Mr Akoi, who paid $270 a week for his rundown rental, was interested in a rent-to-buy option floated by Mr Twyford.
What he was saying, you know, they'll own part of it until you pay off so much and then you buy it off them. I think, you know, it depends, you know, if it's $300 a week for, you know, I think that's affordable.
He wasn't worried about an influx of newcomers changing the vibe of the neighbourhood.
It's going to be quite a change here, you reckon?
Oh, it depends on the people that these houses bring in. You know, it's always, a community is always about the people. You know, people look from the outside and think, oh, you know, but you come and live here and, you know, the people are awesome here.
One big family,
yeah.
This community.
Yeah, you know, your kids can walk down the street and you know they're safe because everybody's looking out for your kids.
New Plymouth Mayor Neil Holdham could only see an upside.
Look at the surroundings here. I mean, it's stunning. I mean, we can see, you know, we've got Paritutu over there, we've got the Maunga up there. I mean, I think for a young family looking to get into a home that they can afford, it will change the nature of this community. So I think it's really positive, and I'm sure there will be many people looking to invest in this because it's an amazing opportunity.
The diggers are set to roll into Marfell in the coming weeks, and the first home buyers should be in their properties next year. I ngā mutu mo te hōtaka o te ahi nei, ko Robin Martin aho.
And we'll be interested to know what you think of that story. $450,000 for a Kiwibuild home in the New Plymouth neighbourhood of Marfell. A number of residents there say it's just way out of their reach. 2101 on the text. We'll be interested in your feedback.